Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me today on this hopefully valuable webinar on how to reduce anxiety, stress, and insomnia in our lives. I'll first speak about lifestyle habits, which we could change, and even some dietary guidelines, and then talk about different herbs and herbal formulas that can be used to help support our nervous system and help us to relax and to sleep better. So first, it's always important to look at our lifestyle and our habits before we jump to taking an herbal remedy for our anxiety or our sleep. Of course, the main cause of anxiety is our own mind. And our mind is stimulated by the environment, the outside environment, bad news, news in general, political news, and of course our work, but also our own thinking, our internal stressors. And it's probably the main cause of anxiety and stress for people is their own mind, thinking too much, thinking about the future, worried about the future. When the future doesn't exist and nobody knows the future, nobody knows what happens. It only exists in our mind because we don't know what it will be. So there's not much point to think about it. We can plan for the future, but it's very important to try to control your own mind, to not think about, dwell on, and worry about the future, particularly something that may not happen anyway. A lot of times people who are worrying about the future are worrying about something that more than likely won't happen. So this is very important to catch yourself and to control yourself from not thinking of the future. And you can say, stay in the moment. Don't worry about the future. Enjoy the moment. Breathe deep. Exhale. Inhale. And relax. You can speak to yourself like this. This is very valuable, very effective, and to control the mind. If my mind starts going off and be worried about 3 months from now or even tomorrow, or then I try to bring it back, because there's not much value. Only in what I could do today and now is important. What happens tomorrow, I don't know. So once I think of tomorrow, then I'm not in the moment. And when I'm not in the moment, that creates stress right there. Same problem with the past. The past is gone. We can learn from the past, but to think you should have, I should have, you forgot my birthday, 5 years ago, you should have done, I should have done. These are when we're stressing ourselves out by thinking about the past, which only remains in your mind, in your memory. So forget the past, forget the present, forget the future, and stay in the present, in the moment. This will help you to be calm. And this type of training of the mind is very important. We should be teaching this to our children, to remain in the moment, to be able to focus the mind. Of course, in training, yogic training, they train you to stare at the flame or the dot and to not think of any other thoughts except for the flame or the dot. First, you start with just 1 minute, then 2 minutes, then 3 minutes. And this is to control and calm the mind. So this is very important. And you can focus on your breath by just watching your breath. Inhale. Exhale. And let all of your worries go. And just keep watching your breath. Focus on your breath, in and out, full breaths. Avoid doing shallow breaths, or just or rapid breathing. This was also contributing to stress and signs of being stressful. So the first thing we should really look at is our own thinking and our own mind, and to try to gain control of it. If it's not through yoga or breathing practices or meditation, these are all ways in which we can calm and ultimately control our mind to not go astray and create stress for us by thinking of the past and the future. So this is a good place to start. And then second, we can try to eliminate external stressors, people who stress us out, or the news that may stress you out. Maybe turning off the TV, maybe not watching the news, or at least not watching news that doesn't relate to you directly, will help to reduce your burden of things that you have to worry about. And this can help too in taking a burden off of your mind. And I think that a lot of movies and violent movies are also creating fear within us. So I think these are not advisable to be watching these type of movies that can create anxiety and fear, because they have this fear and this violence in the movie. And the body and the mind doesn't know that it's a movie. So it also feels afraid. So I don't think we should be going to scary movies, violent movies, or stressful movies. We should try to do happy movies, play happy music, and be with people who are happy and relaxed. And of course, the next thing that we do to stress ourselves out, many things, of course, is overcommit. Pushing ourselves too hard, pushing ourselves to achieve too much, saying yes to everything, when saying no, you don't have time, no thank you, that doesn't work for me. These are ways that you can communicate with other people to not take more responsibility that isn't your responsibility, and not take other people's burden. And other people who have stress maybe want to attach to you and share their stress with you. But we have to take care of yourself and your family first. And the best thing you can do there is to stay calm, focus in the moment, and do what you have to do without worrying, and just keep going. That definitely applies to our turbulent and stressful times that we have today. So stress is always going to be there in life. So what's important is how well you deal with it and manage it. Next, we should try to remove stimulating things from our lives. Many people say they can't sleep, they have anxiety attacks, but they're drinking coffee every day, or they're having sweets, or even chocolate. Chocolate is stimulating. Coffee is very stimulating. I know many people believe it's only 1 cup. If I had $1 for every time a person who couldn't sleep told me it was only 1 cup, I'm only having 1 cup. It's still in your blood. That caffeine is still stimulating you. If you're already an active person, a restless person, like this Vata type Prakriti that you see behind me, thin, cold, light, dry, active, restless, then they're very active people. They don't need coffee. But of course, they still want to be more active and more productive and then they push themselves to be hyperactive and overthinking. And then they become restless, nervous, anxious, and ultimately even having panic attacks. So eliminate the stimulates, even green tea, even matcha, all stimulating. You don't need these. And chocolate's obviously had a good marketing team behind it because people all think it's healthy. And it could be okay for some people, but it's very stimulating, and it always comes with some sugar. And all sweets, cookies, candies, all sweets are stimulating, not fruit. Fruit is not sweets. Fruit is a sweet fruit. So you have to have these, eliminate these stimulating foods. And then what you want is grounding foods, foods that ground you out, that keep your head calm and your feet on the ground. Well, that means you have to have, oil, fat, maybe animal proteins. That's why this type behind me, Vata type, they thin, cold, light, dry, very active, tendency to be restless, nervous, anxious, and have insomnia do best with animal protein that's grounding. Dairy, cheese, dark chicken meat, oily fish. It's very good for this type. It's not recommended this type of person who has anxiety, nervousness, and particularly if they're thin, or probably in an Ayurvedic perspective, underweight, to be a vegetarian. That can only aggravate their anxiety. And skipping meals. Also, everybody gets a little anxious and irritable and hangry when we don't eat. But if you're already have a tendency for anxiety and nervousness, when you skip a meal, you're just going to exacerbate it. So that means you have to have full meals, not salads, not light meals, grounding meals, sweet potatoes, beets, and warm foods, not cold foods. So that means if you're living off of, if you're not overweight and you're just having salads all the time, and skipping meals or smoothies, then this is too light. So too light for your prana, we would say, is too light, and you become lightheaded and spacey and forgetful and susceptible to anxiety and nervousness and poor sleep. So have full meals and not do radical meals and radical diets. And also have a regular routine. Routine and schedule is very important, not just for children. Of course, children and babies, they like routine. They like to eat at the same time, sleep at the same time, play at the same time. They like routine. If you take them out of their routine, they have stress. But adults too. We need to be eating at the same time, working at the same time, sleeping at the same time, every day, 7 days a week. And then this routine, I know it sounds boring. People think routine is a boring thing, but it's not a boring thing. It's relaxing and comforting and more stable, and reduces our anxiety in living life, because our body knows when the food's coming. Our body knows when we're going to sleep. And there's a routine. There's a schedule there. Children need it, and adults need it as well. So first, I recommend that you make these lifestyle changes of avoiding, stimulating, aggravating, people and news. Try to work on calming your thought through meditation or prayer, yoga, breathing practices. And then eat 3 meals a day that are grounding and sustaining, and not skip meals. This is the first step. And get rid of, of course, the coffee, which is usually the big problem, right, in the situation. Then we've removed many of these causes. And you may not sleep great yet, but you've removed the causes. And once you've removed the causes, then the herbs are going to work very nice. They're going to be like your friends to help you relax. We can start off with this little oil. This is very good even for children. Vata oil. It's a relaxing oil. See, relaxing and warming oil. And you can see it's in sesame oil. It's got ashwagandha in it, bala, shatavari, passionflower, which we're going to talk about, licorice, and lemon balm, and tulsi, and valerian, type of sedative, valerian. So this oil is very nice. You can get the oil even for a child, for a young child, even 2-3-year-old child. You can put this oil on their feet and help them sleep. If you have a little headache, you can rub some on your head, particularly your temples right here. And then you can put a little under the nose and right in the nostrils. For a 1-year-old baby, that's all you need, and they'll go to sleep. Just inhaling it there, letting it absorb on the feet, even right on the top of the head. But the best is on the bottom of the feet. So this is very nice for children to help them sleep. The next, we can look at a few herbs like lavender. Lavender is a nice nervine with a nice scent to it. And we can get this lavender, and we can put it in a little bag, and we can put it on our bed. Very nice. Even a baby, a newborn baby, is just enough. We'll get the little bag of lavender, drop it in the crib, baby will next to the pillow, and the baby will sleep better. For serious insomniacs, that's not going to be enough lavender, but we're working up to it. Oat straw, also a very nice herb made from oats. And oats is very nourishing for the nervous system, nourishing for the nerves. It helps even with damaged nerves. And then some sedatives like skullcap. That'll make you sleepy and calm. Also catnip, but I didn't bring it down. And we got over here, there's chamomile. It's a flower. You notice it's the flowers that are making us sleepy. There, see the little flower? Yeah, little petals are falling off there, but it's got a sleepy smell to it. Even you just smell it there. You can start yawning by smelling the chamomile flowers. And for more sedative action, we got hops. Well, they made beer from that. You could ferment it, but it's quite a sedative, make you sleepy. Good for sleeping formula. And of course, poppy seed. California poppy. It's growing wild here. And we know that's related to the opium plant. But of course, there's no opium in here, but it still has a sedative effect, no doubt about it. And then you can make these, and then other herbs like lemon balm, passionflower are very nice. And you can make a little tea, like this tea here, which we sell a lot of. Reduces anxiety and stress. Simple. Lemon balm is kind of the base. Okay? Lemon balm is from the mint family. And like peppermint and spearmint, it's got a minty taste. But lemon balm is the more relaxing of the mint family and easy. Skullcap, which I showed you, nice little sedative. Catnip, motherwort, good also for high blood pressure. Lavender, nice smell. Oat straw, which I showed you, and passionflower. And there's the rosemary there, just to kind of as a catalyst to make it work better. And then I put in some rose petals and cinnamon bark. Rose petals are just make it smell nice and you enjoy it. It's a very, very pleasant tea. Even just smelling the tea is quite relaxing. And you see those little rose petals there? Let me grab there's a rose petal. Yep. I think from Iran. It's a very nice tea, very relaxing. And you can, some people with anxiety, I just tell them drink it all day long and they're feeling better. I have parents who give it to their children in the thermos because they're having anxiety at school. They just drink it right in their thermos at school. It's very tasty with those rose petals in there and that lavender. It's got that flowery, almost fruity smell to it and taste. So it's very pleasant. Anybody can drink it. It's not going to make you sleepy. It's just going to make you relaxed and help you with anxiety. If you wanted to sleep, then we'd have to add some sedatives to it. So then we have the sleeping tea. See, again, lemon balm is the base. Catnip, which is more of a sedative than a nervine. Chamomile, that's a very common herb used in Western herbalism for sleep. You could have it all by itself. But it's even better when it's with the lavender. There's the passionflower. And the big ones that really are helping the person sleep are the poppy seed and the hops. And then licorice and a little rose hips. So that poppy seed, licorice is like a catalyst, kind of making it all work better. It's a little bit supporting the adrenals. But the poppy seed and the hops gives you that sedative kind of gnawed out type of feeling where your head starts feeling heavy and you start yawning. So if you drink the relaxing tea all day and the sleeping tea at night and follow the guidelines I gave you earlier by not having coffee, not watching the news, doing a little breathing practices, not thinking of the past and the future, that's probably enough for most people. But if you're having panic attacks, or some people, they're fine until they get on the highway, then we may have to give you something a little stronger. And when those are teas, but when you ingest the herb, like these formulas here, this is a calming formula. And here we got the herbs in powder form. And there's jatamansi, shankhpushpi, brahmi, and tagar. Tagar is related to valerium. They actually call it Indian valerium. So this is much more sedative or calming. If you're having panic attacks, this is much more effective than the relaxing tea. But many people, if they have a lot of anxiety, I just tell them to have the relaxing tea and put some of the calming formula, a teaspoon or in it, and drink that, particularly if you feel the anxiety. And if you're having a panic attack, you just take the calming formula. It works very well, and we sell it a lot. There's other formulas too that aren't as relaxing. This one is more of an Indian formula based on brahmi. You can see ginkgo, brahmi, gotu kola, sage, lemon balm, again, rosemary, and a little ginger as the catalyst to bring it all together. But basically, this is brahmi and ginkgo. So it's going to help with calming and helping with circulation. Very nice one to have throughout the day to improve while you're working. I drink it a lot. It's just enough to keep you a little calm, but not make you sleepy. So I don't have anxiety or worry problems, but I like this tea a lot because, work can be a little stressful, and that will be just enough to keep my mind calm and focused, and it helps with memory as well as keeping you calm. So that brain tea, as we call it, works very nice. Now, again, if a person has really serious sleeping problems or they're urinating at night, we don't want to give them a tea, then we use, again, the formulas. Because remember, the formulas are always stronger than the teas because you're ingesting the herb. Now, this one puts you to sleep and kind of keeps you to sleep. And you can see tagar is the first ingredient, so valerium. And then there's jatamansi, which is similar to passionflower, shankhpushpi, and ashwagandha, another herb that's kind of sedative. So there's only relaxing herbs and sedative herbs in there. So it's a pretty effective formula. And some people, again, we do the same little trick. Have the sleeping tea maybe an hour or two before bed to get you sleepy. And then right before bed, take a teaspoon of the sleeping tonic. And that's usually enough for most people to knock out. Now, there's other reasons a person could be awake. You could have nighttime urination, and this could be an issue. So that needs to be addressed separately. We have different formulas and herbs to flush out the kidney, bladder, urinary tract pathway. And then after even just a week or so of this formula, the nighttime urination will stop or greatly reduce, and then the person can sleep. And we have there's other reasons people don't sleep too. Sometimes people have too much heat in the body. They go to sleep. We call like a heat in the liver. And then they wake up at night and they're just wake for no reason. And they often are hot. So we have another formula just for that called Pitta sleep formula. And that one is very interesting because it helps you to sleep at night, but it's by cooling you down. I didn't bring it out here, but and here's another one called Calm and Clear. This one is good for working. It's helping improving memory and mood. So it's kind of mixing some brain herbs like Saraswati Churna, which is used for memory, and mixing it together with some of these calming herbs. There you see Saraswati Churna, which is made of 13 herbs, brahmi, the ultimate herb for the mind and the nerves, and jatamansi and shankhpushpi. Very straightforward. So, and very effective to help people who have a little brain fog and they have a little anxiety. So we just combine it together. And we have other ones just for mood balancing, where, there's that brahmi again, the premier herb, jatamansi, which is used often for depression, and then shankhpushpi, which is used for irritability. So we got brahmis used for the anxiety, jatamansi's used for kind of depression. It's an uplifting herb if you feel positive and happy with it. And shankhpushpi is a little calming, but also good for irritability and anger. So we throw the three together, balances your mood. An Indian doctor who I respect tremendously gave me this and formula, very simple formula. It works very well, and many people find it very useful. So these herbs are like tools to help you, like your friends. Like if you're traveling, if I'm traveling on vacation and I want to sleep on the plane or I want to sleep when I arrive, then I have the sleeping formula and I take the teaspoon, and this helps me to sleep and helps get my body back on schedule. If I'm anxious or nervous, or I just want to be very relaxed, then I can drink the relaxing tea. They're very safe. You could be drinking them every day for years of your life. There's no harm. In fact, many of them have other positive benefits to them besides just helping you with relaxing. They're supporting your nervous system. In fact, some of these herbs are more like food for your nerves. It's not medicine per se, but it's feeding your nerves. Just like when we're low on B vitamins, our nervous system can be more anxious. So these herbs are feeding the nerves. And same with magnesium. If we're low on magnesium, then our muscles aren't able to relax. So we're feeding our muscles and our nervous system with magnesium. But the herbs are more beneficial than taking these supplements that are very isolated supplements. So many of these herbs, when tested, they have magnesium in it. There are plants ground up. They have B vitamins in them as well as supporting, feeding your nervous system. So helps you tremendously to get through life. So I hope that helps you. Oh, we also have some little products you put in your nose. There's one right here. It's kind of a calming formula where we just put a couple drops in each nostril. And that's also very nice. It helps you at night. It's not like a strong effect. When you take the calming formula, you feel sleepy right away. When you take the sleeping formula, people have told me they went to sleep with their clothes on. They took it, lied in their bed, woke up in the morning with their clothes on. Well, you don't feel that with the oils. The oils is more subtle, more slow. It's going into your brain, going into your system slowly. But they have their effect, and they can be helpful. And often it's the combination together that helps people to overcome anxiety, stress, and insomnia. The diet, lifestyle changes, and herbs as your friend to help you, like tools to get you through those difficult periods in life, help you sleep at night. Okay? So I hope they helped you and give you some hope that it's very easy to resolve anxiety and insomnia with herbal products and better lifestyle habits. That's all. I've helped many people, hundreds of people. And every day, of course, more people are coming with stress and anxiety, and the herbs are working very well. So I hope it helped you to improve your life by having less stress. And if you feel you need more assistance, feel free to contact me, and we could do an appointment, and I could help formulate and prepare for you the nice formulas that are suitable for you, whether tea or powder or oils that help you to sleep better and to get your life back on rhythm. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to contact me for further information or assistance.